To replace the motor on your MudMixer, start by ensuring that the MudMixer is disconnected from electricity. To remove the auger, start by removing the hairpin holding the cotter pin in place. Then, remove the cotter pin. Use a stiff tool to gently pry the auger shaft off of the motor shaft, dropping the auger shaft into the bottom of the hopper. Remove the auger from the chute. Using an M2.5 Allen wrench, remove the cover on the rear electrical box via 4 screws. Within the rear electrical box, disconnect motor and capacitor wires from the applicable connectors and 10mm grounding lug. Loosen the cord connector on the outside of the electrical box, allowing you to pull the motor wires out of the electrical box. Remove the gray cord connector from the old cord and set aside. Use a 10mm driver to remove the 4 motor cover bolts. Remove the motor cover. Use a 13mm driver to remove the 4 bolts connecting the motor to the body of the mixer. A second set of hands is helpful for this step. Now that the old motor has been removed, it's time to install the new motor. Use a 13mm driver to remove the motor mounting plate from the old motor and install on the new motor. Place the poly and metal washers over the auger shaft hole, using the top motor bolts to keep them in place. Install the 4 spacers on the motor bolts. Using a 13mm driver, install the new motor on the mixer. A second set of hands is helpful for this step. Using a 10mm driver, reinstall the motor cover using the 4 motor cover bolts. Place the thread connector head on the motor cable. Insert the motor cable into the rear electrical box. Using this table, connect the switch wires to other applicable wires in the electrical box. Not to forget the grounding wires using a 10mm grounding lug. Tighten the cord connector. Using an M2.5 Allen wrench, install the cover on the rear electrical box via 4 screws. To reinstall the auger, using a thin screwdriver or nail punch, orient the motor shaft hole horizontally. Slide the new auger into the chute to the back of the hopper. Horizontally orient the cotter pin hole on the auger shaft. Push the auger shaft through the hole in the back of the hopper until the hole on the auger shaft is in line with the hole on the motor shaft. It can be helpful to slide a metal rod through the auger using a hammer to gently push the shaft through the hole in the back of the hopper. Reuse your screwdriver or hole punch to align the auger shaft hole with the motor shaft hole. Insert the cotter pin through the shafts. Insert the hairpin into the cotter pin. Finally, connect the MudMixer to electricity and water to test its function. When the switch is in the forward position, the auger should rotate to dispense product and the water should be on. When the switch is in the reverse position, the auger should rotate to pull product backwards in the chute and the water should be off. To check the needle valve function, turn the switch on and adjust the water dial. The turning of the dial should change the amount of water coming out of the spray nozzles.